Alright folks, this is Xeric and welcome you beautiful, highly intelligent, honorable viewers who will be pressing that like button. And of course, welcome to everyone else who thinks that Nintendo's price increases are justified and won't be pressing it. So I thought the previous video I made was probably going to be the last, the video where I destroyed all of the arguments justifying Nintendo's price increase, with the primary destruction of those arguments being Nintendo makes more money than they've ever made before. So do all video game companies, just about. For like, they're like, inflation. Oh, it's so much in money, inflation. And it's like, yeah, you know what? But my buying power is the same. You know whose buying power isn't the same? Nintendo's buying power. All these video games buying power. They make more money than they've ever made before. That's the reason why they could keep charging $60. Because even when they were charging $60, they kept making more and more and more and more money. They don't need to increase the price of games. And if anything, they could decrease the price of games. But whatever. Moving on. Let's talk about this Doug Bowser. Little did I know when I said that if you have any further arguments that need destroying, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. That Doug Bowser would be leaving some arguments. He didn't leave them in the comments section. He made a press release. And wow, he's a liar and a piece of shit. Let's go ahead and address some of these arguments. All right, so here's the interview with Doug Bowser. Let's start off with this right here. Bowser noted that Donkey Kong remains at the standard retail price for premium games, $70. Oh, that's the standard retail price for premium games now. What does that even mean? What does premium mean? I mean, Ubisoft said they had a quadruple A game. Was that extra premium? Premium plus? Well, you guys saw how that worked out. Premium game, you're just making that up. That's just a made-up title. I mean, where your games are only now $70, so they weren't premium before now? What's happening? But here's the real kicker. Let's move on to this. What you see right there is variable pricing. We take a look at each game, really look at development that's gone into the game, and the breadth and depth of gameplay, if you will, and the durability over time, and the repeatability of game experiences. Those are all factors. Oh, really? Okay. Oh boy. Let's look at this bullshit of a paragraph here. Let's start with the development that's gone into the game. Explain to me why Breath of the Wild has to cost $70 now. I went over this in the previous video. Remember how video games used to go down? They used to say they used to become Nintendo Select games and be cheaper over time. Like, I don't know, Luigi's Mansion 2 went from a $40 game to a $20 game. And then it released on the Switch and became a $60 game. Don't know how that works. But now Breath of the Wild, a $60 game, almost 9 years after release, is now a $70 game. And rumor has it, it won't even include the DLC. I can't believe that. I say the rumor has it. People have said they've confirmed it. I just can't believe that. There's no way. Even if people are saying it's confirmed, there's no way it doesn't include the DLC. I cannot believe that. But regardless of that, you've spent exactly 0 development time porting that to the Switch 2. But yet it's a $70 game? What a fucking lie. And let's talk about the depth and breadth of the gameplay. Yeah. So what they're basically trying to say is that there's a lot of content in the game, so you need to pay more. Okay. So that's how it works now. That's how it works. The amount of content in the game justifies the price of the game. Then why the fuck did you charge $60 for Metroid Dread? That is like a 6-hour fucking game. And that's your first playthrough. Compare that to the breadth and depth of Hollow Knight, the best Metroidvania probably ever made. You can buy that bitch for $20. And if you wait till the discounts hit, you can get it for like $5 or $6. How about the breadth and depth of Hollow Knight compared Metroid Dread? Breadth and depth, my ass. The only thing that's deep is your fucking wallets and your greed. And the durability over time and repeatability of the game experiences. Okay. Okay. So basically you're trying to say how long you play the game determines the price of the game. Okay. That's how renting a thing works. When you buy something, you don't buy it based on how long you can use it. If that's how the world worked, then buying new dishes for your house would cost tens of thousands of fucking dollars because you might end up using those dishes for the rest of your fucking life. That is not how the world works. When you pay more money for the amount of time you use a thing, it's only when you rent a thing and then return it to the owner. If I'm buying something outright to own it, then the amount of time I use it does not matter. Otherwise, if you buy a new basketball for Timmy, guess how much money that's gonna cost? Because he could use that basketball for tens of thousands of hours. So another bullshit lie. Also, you know what? Let's do a little comparison. How about we do a little comparison? We already compared Metroid Dread to Hollow Knight. How about we compare every game Nintendo has ever made and the breadth and depth of those games to say something like, I don't know, Minecraft. How much development time has gone into that? How repeatable is that? According to Nintendo, breadth and depth and repeatability makes the price go up, then why aren't roguelikes the most expensive genre in the world? Why isn't Minecraft the most expensive game in the world? Why can I buy that game for $20 still? Explain to me why Minecraft is a $20 game when it's had more development time, has infinite, literally infinite depth and gameplay experiences. But Nintendo games, which do not have that, they're going to charge $70, $80, $90 depending on the game. It's greed. That's why. Greed. It's just that's the only reason. Greed. Because they're greedy little fuckers. Here's the thing. I don't think this shit's going to work. $60 games was already too much money for video games. But that was about the line. That's what they got up to that point, and that's what they stopped at. Remember, the buying power of the consumer, us, it has not gone up. We're not making more money than we used to make. We still have the same buying power. Nintendo has more buying power than ever before because they keep making record profits every year, but we don't. So that $60 price tag, that was like the maximum. That was already like kicking it up there for the average consumer. And once you start, and for most people, that was, for not most, but for many people, that was still too much. Many people would wait until the price goes down and then buy the game. A lot of people don't want to buy a game for $60. That's why waiting for the price to go down used to work. But you can't do that with Nintendo games anymore. The price doesn't go down over time, which is why people started to pirate the games more. If $20 was the standard price for a premium game, guess what? More people would buy games. Think about it yourself. How many times have you passed up on a $60 or $70 game that you thought about buying, but you're like, nah. Imagine if that same game was only $20. Yeah, why not buy it then? It's only $20, right? But when you start pushing up to $60, $70, $80, well, you start to become a lot more discerning with how you spend your money. Am I going to buy this $80 Nintendo game now? I don't know. Maybe I will buy it. But am I going to buy it the next game after that? I just spent $80 on a game. I don't know if I can do it. If anything, the price of games needs to come down, not go up. If these game companies are making record-breaking profits, then why the hell do they need to increase the price of their games? At least Nintendo still makes good games. A lot of these other companies that are charging $70, $80 for their premium experiences, they're just dog shit. And that's why so many of these gaming companies are starting to close down now. It's because they're charging too much for their games. Would Ubisoft have had such shitty sells on their Assassin's Creed game if they just charged $20 for it? I probably would have bought it for $20. And I knew the game was going to be shit, but it's $20. I'm betting they would have more than quadrupled their sales if they would have charged $20. Because why not? But instead, they charged $60 or $70 or whatever they charged. People are like, I don't know, this experience doesn't look like it's worth it. I'm not going to buy it. I already spent $60 or $70 on something else. I don't have the money. And now Ubisoft is going out of business, or technically they would have gone out of business, but Tencent, a Chinese company, bought them up. So yeah, just about the same. Someone else owns them now, and maybe they'll run them into the ground or run the company a bit better. I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I forgot to mention one thing. You remember, look at this guy. Look at his little shit-eating grin. Isn't he such a nice guy? Yeah, look at this comment here. We recognize there are some people, the poorest specifically, that may not be able to afford the Switch 2, you broke motherfuckers. That's why we want to make the other Switch platforms available, so the poor motherfuckers like yourself still have an opportunity to give us all your fucking money. Fuck you. This right here, this comment right here, this is the main thing that turned me against Nintendo. This is what caused the 180 right here. Is this little shit-eating grin and his response to people saying make the games cheaper. I went from being a person who wanted to give Nintendo money because I liked Nintendo to a person who's just, I'm starting to hate Nintendo. I might become a Nintendo hate channel now. I don't know. All the money just wasn't enough money for you. You had to have more. They're already making all the money. They already had the biggest profit margins of any of the other console manufacturers. And they're like, that's not enough money. We want more. And for those poor people who can't afford the Switch 2, well, don't worry. We're going to keep fucking milking you on the Switch 1. A 9-year-old console almost that is overpriced to all hell. They're charging the same amount for it as the day it released. Remember when consoles used to go down in price? Because that's how manufacturing works. When you initially make a thing in manufacturing, it's expensive to have everything set up. But eventually everything becomes more standardized and the parts for these things are cheaper over time because they're so old. And so they're able to reduce the price and charge less for the console. Nope, not Nintendo. It's still $300. And him with his little shitting grin said, hey, don't worry, you can buy our overpriced console. If you don't want to buy this overpriced console and pay for these overpriced games that we made up lies to justify the price of, then don't worry, you can buy our other overpriced console with our other overpriced games that are slightly cheaper, but 9 years old. Thank you, benevolent Nintendo. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. There's just no way for me to play these games. There's just not. Except for someone buying it for me, I'm just not going to be able to play Nintendo games this generation. Thanks Doug Bowser. I wonder how many other people are in the same boat as me. I wonder if Nintendo's going to be successful this time around. Let's see if it's another Wii U flop. I mean, and don't go leaving a comment about the pre-orders being like so high, so it's not going to be a failure. It still might be a failure. Pre-orders do not determine the success of a console. The Wii U sold out too, by the way. I don't know if you remember that, but the Wii U pre-orders, they sold out. Let me go ahead and show you real quick. There you go. Look at that. Look at all those. Oh, boy. They're just, that Wii U pre-orders, they're just selling out, boys. They're just selling out. And we saw how that worked out. I'm not saying the Switch 2 is definitely going to be like that. We'll see. But, I mean, the Wii was a massive success. They sold so many consoles. And the Wii U, dead. Just dead. And with these prices, I'm not going to be the only one who's priced out of this. This is the rich kids console now. So who knows what's going to happen? I don't know, man. It's depressing and infuriating at the same time. This is Zirk. And leave a comment. You know, tell me how you feel. Will you be able to afford a Switch 2? Setting aside whether you want one or not, will you even be able to afford a Switch 2 and to buy all the games for it? Jeez. This is Zirk, and I'm out.